Hello, Internet. Hello, friends. Welcome to yet another live stream on my channel. Hi. What do I need? What do I need? I need my D20s because we're doing a D20 sprint today, as you guys well know. Hello, friends. What are we all working on today? Pop in the chat and let me know. I don't know which D20s I'm feeling today. Weirdly, none of these. That's okay. I have others. Ooh, I'm feeling my wild magic dice. That's what I'm feeling. But yes, my friends. Hi, hello. Welcome to the stream. What's everybody going to be working on today? I, myself, am going to... Jesus, everything's falling. I'm going to be working on Project Dragon, as is usual. I just, will be. Here's my D20. Amazing, awesome. We got to see it. D20. What else do I need? I need a couple more D20s. I realize I'll take them from Ari's. Ow. Son of a bitch. It is so dry in my place right now that I literally just broke a hangnail by touching this bag with it. And this bag is a soft leather. I don't know what's going on. Okay, here are my D20s. Oh, I forgot that's what I did with my white one. Wild. Okay, cool. Hello, my lovely friends. CB is working on a Marvel fanfic. Incredible. What is the fanfic pairing? I need to know. It's very important. Hello, Phoebe. Hello, Cyanide. Welcome. Phoebe's making a cup of tea. What kind of tea? I have my standard latte today in my hedgehog Figaro mug from Indigo. I originally bought my Fox Figaro mug, which is what I usually... Oh, my finger's bleeding. Which is what I usually drink out of. I bought that because of Project Dream, because it got a little fox in it. I'm going to go get a Band-Aid. I'll be right back. I'm back. All right, so those are my 40 20s that I'll work with today. Oh, I forgot how much I loved Ari's dice. Ari's dice are so beautiful. It's an old D&D character of mine, Arlius. He was a Twilight cleric, so all of his dice are like gray, purple, blue vibe, which are lovely. And this is the Pike dice bag from Critical Role, because yep. Anyways. Stupid hangnails. I already have a Band-Aid on today because I've just keep destructing my poor fingers. English breakfast. One of my faves for your mom and your sister. That's so lovely of you, Phoebe, to make tea for your family. That's so nice. My parents don't know how to make tea properly. They would be the only people who would ever make me tea. So I make myself tea when I have tea, which is very rare. Right now I'm on a coffee kick, which is usual. I go through like trends of coffee or tea. And I usually go for an English breakfast or an Earl Grey or an Irish breakfast. Irish breakfast is actually my favorite, but I haven't been able to find a box of just Irish breakfast like ever. It's always in like a combo pack with a bunch of others. Who knows? But hello, Devin. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, my lovely friends. I think we're ready to dive into a warm-up sprint, shall we? I'm gonna roll my DM dice. That's 12 minutes. 12 minutes. I am struggling today. 12-minute timer. My goodness. I'm struggling today with my words, which is totally fine. Either way, we're going to do a lovely 12-minute sprint for our first one. Ooh, see, I don't remember if I've ever had chai before. I feel like I've had probably like one of those like combination chai and apple situations, but I don't remember what it's like. So I need to have somebody who's a professional tea maker make me a chai, because then they would know what they're doing. Anyways, my friends, we're going to do 12-minute warm up. What's happening? 12 minutes. And we're just going to kind of get started. We're going to jump in to our Saturday writing sprints as we usually do. And I'll see you guys in about 12 minutes. In 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right, my friends. That brings us to the end of our first sprint. How do we feel? How are we doing? I wrote exactly 0 words. I was just rereading a bit, and I had to go through and like change a bunch of names because the 2 names for my queens that I had originally, I had only ever seen them written down. I hadn't actually spoken them out loud, and I realized that I could not pronounce one of them. And I was like, man, I can't do that to myself. I can't have a unpronounceable name for one of my queens. So I had to change them both just to, very, very subtly, like they both are in essence what I want them to be, but I had to change them. So that's why I just went through the 2 scenes that I had written their names in, and I had to fix their names individually. So that's what I did during that sprint, reread and fixed and did a little bit of thinking about what I'm going to do next. But how are we feeling? CB's Marvel fanfic is Tony Stark and Pepper Potts with a side pairing of Howard Stark and Peggy Carter. We love to see it. I love it. Hello, Jenna. Welcome to the stream. Cleaning and brainstorming. Hey, that's what I was doing this morning. I was cleaning. I wasn't brainstorming. I was listening to a Harry Potter podcast called Potterless. I absolutely love Mike Schubert's podcasts. I've been listening religiously to the newest Olympian, where he reads the Percy Jackson books for the first time. And his original podcast was Potterless, where he went through all the Harry Potter books and all the stuff after. So I'm re-listening to that because it just makes me happy how much he rips apart those books. But that's what I was listening to while I was cleaning this morning. So good for you. Actually doing something productive. So I made dinner. Ooh, we'd love to see it. It's a good little warm-up sprint to settle us into the stream today. I'm excited about it. I'm excited. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be working on specifically because I just had I've just finished the sequence that I was super excited about writing last week. And now I don't know what I'm going to do next. Like if I want to dive into a different character now, or if I want to continue with the same character and just like keep going with her story or kind of bounce around a little bit. I'm not entirely sure, but we're going to figure it out together. We're going to sit here and see what happens. I could go back into Izzy's chapters because I only have 2 of Izzy's chapters written. I'm going to have to see. I'm going to have to see on this next sprint. I'm going to have to see what ends up happening because I don't know. I don't know. Like, I know what's happening in my story. I just don't know what I want to work on next and what I want to really flesh out next. But yeah, I ended last time with Maeve and Ira. I apologize for that. That's my mama. That's my mom. So I will have to answer her in a second. But yes, that's fun. That's fun and spicy. I'm just going to text her and say I'm in a call because, Mom, I'm in a call. There, we're fine. But yes, I don't know. What are you guys up to this lovely Saturday? Is there anything interesting or anything that you feel like you are, I don't know, working on specifically today? Like anything character-wise or scene-wise that you're super excited to get to? I don't know. Tell me about your writing. I don't really have any specific questions for you guys today like I usually do, but yeah. It's always interesting to have these lovely little chats. I think what I'm going to do next is explore a little bit of a dream sequence. I always love adding dreams into my stories. I always do. And I think I got 2 dream sequences that I do have to write, one for this character and one for another character, because Maeve and Ira have just fallen off the back of a dragon and are plummeting to their deaths. They don't die, obviously, but they are plummeting through a forest. And that's where I ended because Maeve just knocked herself out against a tree. And that's where I ended last time. And then I had like an extra scene after, which was with the queens and in their ballroom. But it was like a non-important part of the story. It's important, but it's not like main POV, if you will. But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do next. Probably the dream sequence. Probably. I gotta give it a good think though, because I don't know what kind of information is gonna be given to Maeve through this dream sequence. You know, we're gonna have to see. And then I get the very exciting task of writing my two characters just kind of surviving in the forest for a bit and then deciding what they're going to do next. So yeah, maybe I'll stick with Maeve. Maeve is in my head, so maybe I'll stick with her right now before going back to Izzy or Jem, my other two main POVs. Epic fantasies. They're fun. Phoebe is going to try and finish your book. Woo! That's very exciting. That's so exciting. Is it a very good part of the book that you're at? Because the last few pages of a book are always like, you want them to be the most exciting. So I think on that note, we should probably look at a second sprint. I'm going to roll some d20s. And we're going to see, how does a 27 minute sprint sound for our second sprint today. My brain is not built for math. Let's do this. 27 minutes. How does that sound, my guys, for our second sprint of the day? We can really get into it. We can dig into our everything. Just really get into the meat of it. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be lovely. 27 minutes. 27 minutes for our lovely sprint. All right, my friends, I'll see you at the end of it. In 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right, my guys. That is the end of that sprint. How are we feeling after our second sprint? I managed to get in 725 words in that lovely sprint. We love to see it. We love to see it. Finally in the... I probably would have gotten more because I did take like 10 minutes to kind of brainstorm what was going to go on in this scene, specifically because it is a dreamscape and it is a moment where Maeve first meets her god, and it being in this moment, like, people could have so many different questions, but because it's Maeve, I had to really think about what kind of questions she would have in specific, you know, and like what kind of information would be transferred in this moment, because it's a moment where Maeve doesn't know who this person is in front of her until partway through the scene, when she's like, "Who are you?" kind of a thing, because she looks at this woman, and this woman's face kind of shifts a little. Like, when she first looks at her, she's like, "Oh my god, I'm looking at myself," because the woman has the same white hair, same braids, same like riding leathers and stuff like that. But then her face changes just ever so slightly, and then she's like, "I'm looking at my mom, but 20 years older than I knew her." And then she's like, "But no, I'm looking at my aunt." And then she like looks into the woman's eyes, and she's just like, "No, this being is something other." And then she's like, "Who the shit are you?" the goddess is just like, "Well, I've been keeping tabs on you as a being such as myself. It's quite easy to do so." And Maeve is like, "You're a goddess? Oh my god." So it's a fun little scene. It's interesting to play with Maeve in this dynamic, because Maeve doesn't, up to this point, doesn't really believe in the gods. And so after this, she's just going to be like gently shook about everything. She's just going to be like, "Oh my god, oh my god, what's happening?" kind of a thing. Very exciting, very exciting. But how did you guys do? How many words did you get down? We had a couple more people join in the middle of that sprint. Incredible. Julie and Claude, and Jenna was getting some laundry done. We love to see it. Spiral of never-ending laundry. I know how it feels. I just heard my load in the dryer finish for my sheets, which is nice. Cyanide had dinner and wrote 36 words. Hey, 36 words more than you had last time, and you fed yourself. Incredible. Good job. Good job. Cloud did chores. Nice. Good to hear. Good to hear. Hey, you're being productive either way. Chores are also very productive. So we love to hear it. I have a pot on my stove, just like a pot of water boiling, because my place is so dry. I need like humidity. And it's just making the most gentle rain sounds. It's wild. It's just gently popping. Anyways, my lovely friends. Yeah. Does anybody have any sentences that they want to share for what they just wrote? Let me see if I have anything spicy that I want to share. I don't know. It's kind of interesting to the beginning of this bit is Maeve opening her eyes in this different place that she's in. She's literally like in between right now, because she was knocked out, and this is how her god is able to talk to her. She was in her dreams essentially, and Maeve opened her eyes, staring up at nothing. She blinked a few times, the feeling of falling through the sky still clutching at her insides. The air around her felt stagnant and empty, as though there was nothing around to give it scent. No trees to fill it with pine, no water or ocean to fill it with salt and moisture, nothing. Not even the dusty tang of stone in the air. Instead, Maeve felt as though she was somewhere entirely other. So she's just like freaking out. Freaking out. It's really fun to be read. I'm so excited about this freaking book, you guys. I'm so excited about the story. And the other night I was thinking about it, just like being so amped to have the story because this is a story that I want to read, kind of a thing. And just now as I was writing, I was like, oh, this is kind of soon in the story that we're going to get these bits. And then I realized that I had to remind myself, I have 2 other points of view that are going to be interspersed in this with this point of view. So by the time we get to this point, it's going to be like hundreds of pages in the book before we actually get to this point. So it's not too soon at all. It makes perfect sense with the story. And I was like, oh, okay, we're fine. We're not rushing into things. I'm excited to have all these points of view written so that I can start putting them together in their, like the way that they would show up in the book kind of a thing. Because currently, if you guys are curious, I'm working in Scrivener. And I have along the side here like different file folders, and each file folder is a different point of view. So I have Easy or Isolde, I have Maeve, and then I have Jem down here. And then so I have Maeve's, all her point of view, and then Izzy's point of view with her story kind of a thing. And I've been kind of jumping around. No, usually I write in chronological order. This is how I've always written my books, but this one's a little different because I've kind of just gone with whatever character is calling to me that day. Like I have Izzy's chapter because Izzy's the first chapter in the book kind of a thing. And she was the first one that actually, like, her chapter came to my head for the first time, even though Maeve was the character that I started with. Maeve is my main character, but Izzy's chapter came first. So I just I bounce around. I bounce around in my point of views. Maeve is definitely the one that I've sat in the most because I had an entire like sequence planned out that I wrote last week, which is why I have so many more chapters than in Maeve's point of view than I do in either Izzy or Jem's. I have 2 in Izzy's, and then I have 1 in Jem's, even though his is also planned out. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, starting the 6th one in Maeve's point of view. So I do sit in one point of view more than others, but that's just because I've had more of the story planned for Maeve for longer, I think. I don't know. It's been like a year since I've thought of this idea, and I've been trying to write this story, so very exciting. But I'm now sitting at 29,039 words for this draft, which is very exciting. I'm so happy that I'm finally in it. CB wrote 133 words. Incredible. Which Hannah Montana song? That's very important knowledge. It's very important knowledge. Hannah Montana. Man. I used to love that show as a kid. Ooh, what a good show. What a weird show. Like when you think about the shows that we used to watch as kids, bananas. The ideas that were presented in those shows. Oh, I just landed on a key. Apparently I can't drink water normally. Ay. But yeah, so. Oh, that's a very good one. That's a very good one. Yes. Goodness me. Well, I always like to ask you guys this. Since we got a couple new people in the stream, what do you guys like to write to? Do you write to music? Do you write to soundscapes? Anything in particular? Or just silence? Right? What the hell? There's so many weird guest stars on Hannah Montana. It's wild. I do this outline with one POV. Yes, I usually outline. I'm the kind of person that I'm like a strict planner kind of a thing. I need to know start to finish essentially for my stories. And that was what I was having the most trouble with this story because I couldn't crack it open. Like I didn't know what was going to happen throughout the story. And I finally, like back in February, I cracked it open and I found out an ending. I found my ending and I was like, oh, thank God. So we have an ending. And just the other day, I actually found my like last final image and I wrote it on my phone because I need an ending before I can start writing. And I knew like I had my ending back in February, which is why I've started drafting. But this specific epic fantasy, I don't have a strict outline to it. I have a brainstorm of like start to finish for each of my points of view characters, like what's going to happen kind of a thing, which is sort of an outline. It's more of just like a scene description of like this happens, then they kind of do this to get to this point, and then this happens. A very loose outline, not structured at all. Not structured at all, which is odd for me because I love me some structure. Save the Cat is one of my favorite books because of the structure. I love story structure, which has ruined books for me because I find it very difficult to find a surprising book now because I know where all the twists are going to be placed in a book. Like I know what to expect at the midpoint. I know what to expect at the 75% mark. Like I know how things are going to go in a book, and that has ruined book experiences for me now, unless the author does something completely crazy. Like Jade City is the one that I can remember surprised me really recently, which is good. But Claude writes to atmospheric black metal, mostly very nice. Hey, if it works for your story, it works, right? Always the music on. Yes, I literally cannot function without sound in my ears. I cannot at all. Like when I'm at work, I have a Skyrim soundscape on, and I'm usually listening to a podcast on top of that. So like I need noise at all times in my day, which is probably a comment on my mental health more than anything else, but it's okay. Depends on the mood. Ooh. Breaking Benjamin. Is that a band? I'm very curious. That's wild. Draft to less intense music filled with still music with lyrics. Interesting. Yes, I can draft to music with lyrics. I cannot edit to music with lyrics. I find that I can't focus entirely on it. Also, I'm an editor for trade. Like I work as an editor for my day job for a magazine publishing company. And so when I actually edit my articles that I get sent to me, I cannot edit them with music with lyrics. It has to be like soundscape or like lo-fi or fantasy ambiance. Like it has to be, or soundtracks to movies, which is what I have been writing Project Dragon to, soundtracks to movies, i.e. How to Train Your Dragon and The Hobbit. Those two were like the best soundtracks out there. Is it The Hobbit or is it the Fellowship of the Ring? No, it's Two Towers. Two Towers is the better one. That like matches the vibe more. But yes, I love it. Nice. Very nice. I did not know WWE like kept their old shows up. That's so funny. Yeah, sometimes there are some artists that when their music comes on, it like totally pulls me out of what I'm doing. And I'm just like, oh, I have to focus entirely on the song. Some of Taylor Swift's old music does that to me. Taylor Swift is my favorite artist ever, and she will forever be. But like some of her old stuff, I just like, I sit and I'm like, ooh, I gotta sing along to You Belong With Me. I can't do anything now. I just have to sing along. So I get it. Hello, Adam. Welcome to the stream. I don't find it unusual when you're writing to music with lyrics, because sometimes if you find that right vibe of a song that just works for you, what you are working on, it works. Like I wrote my entire middle grade to the radio of Cavetown on Spotify, like the artist Cavetown. I made like there's a radio for it. If you click it, you can create radio. You can go to that. I listened to the radio of that, and it's just like the exact vibe of song that I needed, and the soft lyrics in the background were totally good. So I don't think it's weird at all that you listen to lyric stuffs. And also Simon and Garfunkel, we love it. We love it. Need silence. That's wild. I don't know how people do it. My friend is like that though. She's got extreme ADHD. So like if she has music on, it's like she can't focus on anything, which makes sense. Cyanide's also for silence. Wow. Yeah, it's weird how some of us are like, no, we need music to make us, focus on anything. And then others are like, no, silence. My dad is like that. He is like, he can't even read with other people in the room. Like he needs earplugs in and complete isolation to be able to read. I'm like, Dave, what? Just what? How? Earplugs? What are you doing? But it works for him. Oh my goodness. Music distracts you. Yes. What song? Yeah. Oh yeah, Spotify. What a wonderful place to find music. I love Spotify so much. Oh my god. Oop. Team music here. Yes. Yeah, actually, any kind of background music works. I've been finding a lot of soundscapes on YouTube that I put on while I'm like reading or just kind of doing whatever. And there's been a few that I've found that are like Studio Ghibli ones, which are very fun because it's like Studio Ghibli vibe music with like the sound of, like, for example, like Spirited Away. There's one for that with them on the train when they actually go on a train in the movie, but like it's just them on the train sitting there, and it's like the gentle click clacking of the train, and then the Studio Ghibli music around. It's very good. Wow. You know, that doesn't weirdly doesn't surprise me, but I like had no idea about it. Streaming services are wild. Yeah. Yes. I've had Spotify for years now as the premium service, and it's the one thing that I refuse to give up, even though I'm paying full for it now instead of, because I used to be fine with just the like student one because I was a university student for a while and I could pay like $4 a month for it, but I'm fine paying the full $9.99 for it a month because it's just the best streaming service that you can have is music. I love music. Music is the best. God, I love music. Oh, I love that our conversations always kind of end with music. Anyways, let's do another sprint, my guys. I'm gonna give you two options for time this time. We're gonna do either 24 minutes or 24. No, hold on. Let me figure this out. 29 minutes or 37 minutes. 29 or 37 minutes. Which one would you guys rather do? I didn't even know that was a thing. But yes, I believe that because YouTube has just got so much good music. Either 29 minutes or 37 minutes. Which one would you guys rather do? Throw your votes into the chat, and I will line up that lovely timer for our third sprint. I always felt longer. Amazing. So we got 3 votes, 4 votes for 29, and then 2 votes for 37. So I think 29 is it. Which is also quite a long sprint. So 29 minutes it is. Actually, here it's fun. I'll do 29:37. How's that? We'll do both. In a way. 29:37. Alrighty, my lovely, lovely friends. Let's get into this. Let's dive back into our projects. I will see you in another 30 minutes. Enjoy. In 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right, my friends. That is the end of that sprint. Oh, I forgot to put my ticker on the bottom. Oh no. How are we feeling? How are we feeling after that lovely sprint? I am now sitting at 1,500 words written for today's sprint. So I added another 700 roughly from last sprint. Very nice, very awesome. I'm in the middle of a bit that I'm trying to find the right words for. So it's a little frustrating. Just because it's I know it's a first draft. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm struggling to even come up with words in general for it, which is very interesting because it's the moments in my book. So I'll let you guys in on a secret. This book has moments where, or the Pantheon of the Gods has not had a large touch on the material plane for a long time in this world because of something that happened a couple centuries ago or more, many centuries ago. And they are starting to have a greater touch on the world again. Things are starting to shift in this world. Magic is starting to get more powerful. And there's these moments in my book where some of the gods are reaching out and connecting with mortals on the plane, which is causing them to be God touched. But in these moments, there has to be a like recognition of a like deal being struck in a way. Like one of the gods at the very, very beginning of this book, he makes a deal with a man who's dying on a battlefield and essentially is like, you want a better life? You don't want to die on the end of a sword in the middle of a muddy field where you are nameless? I can help you with that. And it's like this moment of like desperation where the man is like, please. And so it's a deal that's kind of struck in that way. And then there's another moment where it's not even a like a worded deal. It's just a moment of being touched by a god's power with a little girl. So it's a little different in her instance, and I'm going to have to work with hers a little bit more because there's going to be another moment where like the god actually talks to her and is like, this is the deal. This is why I like chose you, kind of a thing. But in this moment with Maeve and her god, it's interesting because they are equals in this scene. They are both sitting on the ground in this dreamscape. And it takes until like the end of the scene for Maeve to even realize which god she's talking to, which is Maeve's issue because Maeve doesn't really believe in the gods entirely before this, but she knows who they are and like their like pantheon, their like role in the pantheon kind of a thing. And so she finally realizes who she's talking to, and she kind of just sits there and she's like, "Why me? Right? Like, what do you want with me?" And it's more of a moment of where the god is like, I need your help, which is one of the only moments in this book where it's like the gods are like, you need my help in this situation. No, this moment, Thydea, the god that's there, has come down to talk to Maeve because she's like desperate for help. So I'm just trying to find the right words for it. That's this moment of like, I don't know. It's like Maeve's like, why me? And Thydea is just like, many reasons, but you love dragons as much as I do, which is what clues in Maeve to being like, oh, it's the idea, it's the mother of dragons literally sitting in front of me. So it's, yeah, I'm not struggling, but I'm struggling with this scene just because I want it to be just right, and I'm gonna have to edit this back and like make sure it's getting the point across that I want to get across. But that's the scene that I'm currently working on. CB got 414 words. Adam got 300, and CB's just under 3K to go until you hit your Camp Nano goal. Incredible! Oh my gosh! And it's like the 9th of April. You're gonna do so well. That's awesome. I love to see it. We love to see it. We love to see it. Hell yeah! You guys are doing the best. You guys are killing the game. I am so. I love these sprints. I love these sprints. I know you guys were having a conversation in the chat that I was participating in a little bit about the idea of sprinting really, really long time, sprinting for a really, really long time, and whether or not that's like conducive to your sprinting stuff. But I also, it's the thing of like being able to fall into that inspiration and Long sprints, I don't always love. The 30-minute sprints or just around 30 minutes are perfect for me because that's where my brain likes to focus for. But a lot of the times, if I'm on my own writing, I get distracted after about 30 minutes of sprinting. So 30 minutes is kind of my cap. But yeah, it's interesting. The idea of inspiration and finding that groove. I've never really had an issue myself of being in that groove and then doing something else, like going up to go to the bathroom or going to eat something and then coming back to it and not being able to pick up the groove again. Because when I get up from those moments and go do something, I am thinking about it continuously in my head. And my whole goal is to finish that task and then come back to my writing and thinking about it and thinking about it. And it doesn't usually bother me, which is why I can write for a day straight with doing little things in between if the inspiration so strikes me. But yeah, everybody's writing experience is different. And that's why I love these sprints, because you get to hear all the stories. Panini. Yeah. It's good old Panini. I've had issues recently not recently, but in the past few months trying to find the time to write, which is why I really like doing these streams, because this is the only time of the week that I can really get writing done, because I have 2 jobs and I just started 40 hours a week with one of my jobs. So now I'm working 50 plus hours a week, more than full-time hours. And so during the week itself, I am just drained. I don't have any time or brain space to write, which is awful. I hate it. I hate it so much that I can't write during the week and write consistently, which I used to be able to do when the Panini first hit, because I was temporarily laid off from a job, and a lot of what I did was just 10 hours a week kind of here and there work. So I could do so much creative stuff. Then I got creative burnout in 2021 because of it. So oh no, Cyanide. Go take a break from the screens. Don't look at screens anymore. Just go drink some water, have an Advil, You don't, I know that feeling. That was me yesterday. I stared at my screen for 15 hours because I worked for 9 hours and then I had a D&D game afterwards. So take a break, drink some water, relax. It's Saturday. There's nothing else that you need to do. But yeah, my friends. Speaking of sprinting, I think we should just dive right back in. I'm in the mood to just keep going. So let's roll some D20s and we'll see what happens. I'll give you 2 times like last time. Well, that doesn't really give me that much difference. I rolled a nat 1. So we can do. I'm going to re-roll this one because it's not really a long sprint otherwise. Okay, so we can either do 29 minutes again, or we can do. This is what? This is our 4th sprint. Is this our last sprint? Yes, this is our last sprint of the stream. So we can either do 29 minutes or we can do 25 minutes. Nope, 35 minutes. We can either do 29 or 35. Which one would you guys rather do? To end our stream today. End our stream. Yeah, pre-Panini, man, like the weekend the pandemic hit here, I was with my friends all weekend. Like I went to a movie, I went to a game night. I had a Witcher marathon on the Friday, and then I went to a game board place that night. And that night was when I got the call that my piano studio was shutting down for 3 weeks at the time, just because of the fear of the pandemic. And like, that's what schools were doing here. We didn't end up going back into studio until like September, but I had that. And then the next day I went to go see Emma with my friends in theaters, which was the last movie that I went to see. And then the next day I was hanging out with my friends at my friend's condo. Like it was a weekend of friends. And now the idea of spending more than 4 hours with a friend drains me entirely. Like last weekend, I had book club with my friends for 3 hours. And then I went to my parents' place for dinner. And I left early from dinner because I was like, I am so tired right now. My social battery is at 0. I'm cuddling with my dog and I'm not even talking to you guys. I'm just going to leave. Like, I can't do this anymore. Social battery is nothing. But yeah. Math is hard. I can't do math. Oh, Lord. All right, so we got 1 vote for 35, 1 vote for 29. Which one should we do, my friend? 29 minutes or 35 minutes? You tell me, and I will put it in the timer. Let me set up the timer. So this will take us probably to about 3:15, 3:20. But yes, you guys tell me what. Yeah. God, sad. Grade 2 music theory. Lord. What was I doing right before the pandemic? Broke my hand that January. And the Friday that I had the Witcher Watcher Marathon, I got my cast off. So like it was just a week of wildness. And like the next Monday, we decided to start working from home for my other job. Like crazy. Oh, we got another vote for 29. Anybody else want to chime in? We have 35, 29, and 29. 2 29s. Somebody seal the deal for me. Somebody seal the deal for me. I might get a snack during the sprint as well because I'm feeling peckish. Somebody else seal the deal. 35 minutes or 29 minutes. I could also just flip a coin. I could also just flip a coin. Oh, Lord. Another book is ready at my library. Lord. I haven't yet finished The Dragon Reborn. I can't borrow The Shadow Rising. Jesus. Ah. Oh, that's wild. Oh, hey. Thanks for coming here anyways, CB. This has been absolutely lovely. Enjoy your other stream. I hope it's wonderful. Yes, snack time, Phoebe. I agree. Oh, and also, Phoebe, I'm glad that you enjoyed your book that you just finished. Bittersweet endings are always interesting. But we had another vote for 29 minutes. So we're going to do 29 minutes, my friends, to finish out this sprint. We're doing 25, 30, 29, 35, just because that's all it is. That's the best I can do. But all right, my friends, enjoy. And I will see you. This is our last sprint of the stream. I will see you in 30 minutes. 3, 2, 1, sprint. Well, my friends, that brings us to the end of that sprint and the end of our stream. My goodness. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. How did that last little sprint go? How are we feeling? Claude got a lot of work for his D&D game done. We love to see it. I love that. I played D&D last night with my friends, and it was quite fun. Although I'm going to have a chat with our party's cleric, because they left one of our party members down for 5 rounds. They like stabilized them, but then didn't heal them so that they could get back up and help us with stuff. I was irritated. I was like, you're the party's cleric. You're the only one of us who can heal right now. You have to heal them so they can actually do something. Because like my friend was, who played the character who was down for like 5 rounds, was so bored. She like texted me. She's like, I'm literally like, I could literally leave. This is an hour of me doing nothing. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. If I was the cleric, I would have had you up in a minute. Like, I'm so sorry. So D&D, it's fun. No, that cleric decided to do many other spells that didn't end up working. And I'm just like, you're not like, clerics need to heal their party members. Like, what are you doing? I gotta have a chat with them. I gotta be like, listen, you're the party's cleric. You have to heal people so that they can get up and do stuff. Not just because then it's boring for the player who's down for 5 rounds, but it's also like the person can do stuff, right? Like the person can do stuff and help. I don't know. It's fine. Thank you for coming to the stream, Phoebe. I'm glad you got some reading done. Adam got 500 words done. I'm sitting at 2,200 words for the entire stream. We love to see it. We love to see it. I'm happy about it. I finally hit the 30,000 word mark in Project Dragon. We love to see it. After this, I'm going to see how much more writing I can get done, but I'm not too stressed about getting a whole bunch done because I've written a great amount of words today. So, Cyanide, 27 more words and made tea. Hell yeah. I really hope your headache doesn't become any worse, Cyanide, now that the stream is done. You can just kind of chill and do what you like and just drink that tea and love it. But anyways, my friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me. This has been absolutely lovely. And I won't be able to do a stream next week because it is Easter weekend and I'm going up to the lake. So hopefully the following week I will be back. But you won't see me next weekend. I'll be back the following week for a stream. Same time, same place. But other than that, my friends, I will catch you in one of my videos or another stream very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your week.